Cool, so that's the part I'm up to now. I'm going to be working on this section here. So, firstly I want to think, am I going to use the same sort of bass? Because at the moment we've got this sort of tone happening. But I'm actually thinking that at this point we'd be better off having an even more brutal sort of bass. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new track and I'm going to drop on a little rack I've made for the sub 25. Should work fine. Cool. I'm turning off the filter amount and I'm putting on some wave amount. To get some variety, I'm lowering the LFO rate. And now I'm going to think about how to modulate it. So we're mainly using the sub and oscillator 2 here. To get that really, really dirty sort of hit happening. Cool. Alright. Next step is to maybe add some noise. A little bit of noise. I'm basically trying to drive the filter. And I'm going to drive it further with the multi-drive function. To get that really, really thick resound, and we'll check out the feedback option. Ah, that's good. There's a lot of kind of strange tones happening there. Let's see what happens if we change the wave shape and just leave oscillator 2 on. Yeah, that's good. That's sufficiently aggressive for our goals here. Okay, so now I'm going to find an appropriate rack. This one I've been working on, where is it? The heavy driven multi-morph rack. So how this rack works is it's got the standard multi-morph sort of filter movement that I like, where you've got a morphing filter that goes from low pass to band pass to high pass, and we can then use the filter 1 frequency control to get nice sweeps. And we can morph it, turn it into an LFO, sorry, a low pass filter, or a high pass filter. We then have notching functions. And we also have different kinds of drives. So let's listen to the saturate. However, this rack also contains what I really like it. It's got this sub gain function with an above threshold, which gives a really cool kind of like crackling sort of effect. So that's what we're going to work with. So we're starting here, and we'll just have the drums and the bass while we work on it. Close the hats up. And remember that we're working at a different speed as well here, which makes it a little bit more confusing. There's a bit of a noise floor coming in, but I think I've got a gate or something controlling that. So let's start building this. Now we're in the key of D as well. Cool. There's going to be a lot of automation happening here. So let's start it up. So we'll begin with the filter 1 frequency. And I'm going to be essentially drawing in random shapes until we get something cool. And also we're working in a swung 16th sort of feel. And the timing is not exceptionally important because we're out of time with the beat anyway, because the kick hits here and the snare hits there. So set that lane up, and now we're working with the morph function, which can gives us a lot of like transient. So what I'm doing is I'm highlighting the notes that I think should have a bit of an accent. It's actually kind of hard to do because the grid is like kind of meaningless at this point. So we'll loop the bar. And add another automation layer. Now we're going to think about the notching, and the notching is very characteristic of the sound we're going through. And the notching is kind of going to be functionally random because it's the interaction between the multiple different notches that are going to give us the sort of sounds that we want. And I'm adding lanes every time I draw something in. Now we can think about adding some drive. And we're getting some nice stereo effects from the drive function as well. Cool. Now we can close the mid gain off, bring in the low. And I now need to get the EQ8 so we can figure out what a low D is. It's going to be like 38, 37, 37.62 to 36. So 36 and a half is probably where we're going to be looking at. And we should put some pitch bends in as well. The pitch is going up 1 octave. E, we'll figure it out by ear. So if 36 is like 36 and a half, if that's the fundamental, then we double that and gets us to what? 70 something? And there's a very good reason why I'm doing this, because we're going to be using resonance to like absolutely drive it. So now we can play with the resonance, and this is where we're going to get some pretty aggressive sounds. Now we can play with my favorite, the OTT above threshold. Now check this out. If I just turn it up on full, it just sounds like a broken speaker, which I think is cool, but it's not what we want. So also, before I go any further, I'll put in the multiband compression. We can use this to add punch. And we can get that punch to emphasize what we want it to. I think that sounds sick personally. Now we can use the mid gain to control things. I'm going to redo the filter 1. And the morphing. And we're going to add in our hats just so I can get a better understanding of where everything should be. So make that bigger. Now we just have to delete the first two. Actually, all of that stuff there. Now we extend it. Cool, that's the easiest way to do it. We can turn these on. And now that can become a reference. So copy that over, bring that into the MIDI track here. And now that's telling us exactly where the 16ths are, which is good. That's like very helpful information for us. I better shorten these as well so they're easier to see. Did that. All right. Cool. Now we can draw in the morph controls here and we've got a really good reference. Now we can use the mid gain to set up what we want. Cool. Now we've got the sub gain up and duplicate that and duplicate that. So on the last bar it'll go up to like an amp or something. start cutting. Cool. Now we can start arranging that with the drums. This is how we get cool rhythms, just by mucking around and seeing what we find. Yeah, at this point it's a lot of trial and error just to get the right sounds and the rhythm. 2, 3, 4 there. So. That note there might be cool. It's interesting how that sounds really crap on its own, but with the drums. Back to the drums and the bass. Let's loop that and have a listen. I'm going to consolidate that all into a single group, and then we can start cutting even further. That's kind of going to be the next step. We can also think about adding additional sounds in at this point. For instance, I was thinking about adding some sort of square bass. So I haven't used them in a while. Maybe with analog, because then we can change the pulse width in a nice way. Maybe like there. No, it should be D. Fade it in. Set it to monophonic. We can add like an octave. And this hit, we can like drive it. I'm just adding kind of variations. Dry wet is our friend. that's not a good hit. Now I want to add a kind of doubling effect. That's a cool polyrhythm effect there. So then we get the volume of the hi-hat. And we're going to modulate that volume. Consolidate it there. Adjust the drums now. Get rid of that snare. So essentially we're getting like a hemiola effect. So we can loop it there, start a loop there. Alright, I will be back very shortly. CPU a little bit. It's alright. Cool. Now I'm going to add a secondary bass in. So let's put a new audio track and we can just solo the bass and solo the drums. So for this second section, which begins here, I think it would be good to have a bit more variation. So we'll take some sound from here. See if we can find some nice sounds out of that. It's not bad. And remember to lower the pitch by 1. That's a nice one as well. So see how we can fit these in. So I'm just looking for gaps basically. I can deactivate that. What happens if we put that one there? We can actually try making an entirely new loop. So where do we start? Put in a locator. I like that boom shukataka thing. We better put the same multi-band effect on that we have here to get similar levels. Cool. So putting in a new track, maybe 2, and we'll drop the multiband on both of them. That way we'll have pretty similar levels for both. So you hold control when you drop something on and you'll get a duplicate. So we definitely want that sound because that's cool. What happens if I reverse that? So have that cycle happening because that's very cool. And we can turn all these breakpoints off, so we can turn that track entirely off. That way it'll be much neater when we're kind of cutting it all up. Turn it off there, and that should take it off. There we go. deactivate that clip. What about here? What about that hit here? All right, let's check the loop now. It's really tight, I like that. So drag that up. The idea is we're just tightening it all up so it's all in one track. Now we can delete that. That can be deleted as well because we don't need it. Now we can duplicate that over to a second track. And maybe find a few more of those interesting hits from here. That's a nice one. Okay, what about here? How will that fit? Copy that over. Okay, starting to work. Alright, let's listen in context now from, I don't know, maybe, why the fuck not? Let's go from the start. See how it all fits in. Been working on this track for quite some time, so it's becoming, I'd call it convoluted, but I like it, so we'll see how we go. Really like the drums. what I'm doing here with the drums, because there's an interesting rhythmic device happening. So if you listen to like way back here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the hats are on the 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. But slowly as it morphs here, there's a cymbal effect happening. It's what you call a hemiola. So it's like a 2/3. Done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I'll make it really, really obvious how this is happening. So if I group that and then duplicate these symbols here, you will see that they actually all fit in. And they're taking up different lengths of time. Turn that one on. So copy that. And here, yeah, how do I do it? Like that, and off, and off like that. So I will add them there, and if we turn them all on, you'll hear what's happening. Essentially, they're outlining what will be the new beat. So have a listen. Whoops. Cymbal solo. Ding, 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 ding. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, boom. So I'm like basically signposting what will be the new rhythm when the set changes. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's cool. It's like kind of hinting at what will happen. I really like when you change the timing of things. I think it's like a fun little trick to do. Turn the chords off there. So everything after that point we don't need. All right, so I'm now going to render all the bass stuff onto a single track just to make life so much more easy. Solo that and that. So then once I start cutting everything up, it'll be like a breeze basically. So that's what we're doing now, and it's a good chance to hear the basses anyway. Whoops. What happened there? Should they be playing at the same time? Okay. Solo it all again. We'll just render chunk by chunk. Okay, Why is that doubling up there? That's weird. So I'll just record that. Then back to it. So we're just recording this chunk here. Now we'll record that. What? Why can't we hear that? That's so strange. What on earth is happening there? That is just bizarre. Is there some effect on the bass that I should know about? No, there shouldn't be. So now we can record these from here. I'll figure it out a bit later. Record. Cool, continue there. And this is where it becomes more complicated. So we've got those two and then that. That should work. Okay, let's go. Nice and neat, apart from this weird gap here. So now we can delete these ones because it's honestly getting complicated with these basses. So we can get rid of all of them now, which is kind of satisfying. I love deleting things. It's like the best thing in the world. We can listen to these sounds now. It's gone down a semitone there. So all of these need to go down one semitone. I'm not sure what to do next. Like, I've got this melody here. That I want to use in the track. We also have the main melody at the start here. The dum bum dun 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 sort of thing, which is nice, but I feel it'd kind of be cool to have like an ambient section here. So maybe that's what we'll do. So we can put in some big boom sort of sound, like an impact or something. See what I've got. I think I should have a few different impact sounds. Yeah, that should do. And I will do a reversed impact leading up to it. And fade it in with gain like that. Cool, that works so far. Okay, now what sort of sound are we going to use? Let's go through some presets and maybe find something synth leads. They're a bit weird. Okay. Instruments, wavetable. I like this one. So should we go back up to E? We will see. F sharp. There's a lot of like chromatic movement in this piece, so that could work. got this really cool sample pack by Montrose. They have presets for Supermassive, which is great. Love that dentist drill sound. Now, we can do something cooler. So, how about we build some sort of pad? And then we can get some nice ambient sounds going off the top of that. Like, going for like a psychedelic sort of vibe. Okay, so... Now I'm just trying to find a wavetable to work with. It reminds me of Mario for some reason. Could almost work. Yeah, that's it. We use a combination of the kicked and the menace one. They're both in the complex wavetables. The menace has this really cool little wob. And the kicked has a nice hollow aspect. So let's build like a 20 second sort of ambient loop. In the key of E flat minor. And the good thing about wavetables is you can get a lot of movement without even touching any other effects. That is so cool. On the fifth up 2 octaves, creates a flanging sort of effect. That's really nice. So should we use an LFO to do that or do it manually? Let's try it with an LFO first. So oscillator position LFO 1. And try having LFO 2 modulate LFO 1. LFO1 can modulate the amount of LFO2. So we get a nice feedback sort of thing. Set them both to turn the re-trigger off. Actually, I think it's better to have that controlled with a macro, so the filter can be done with a macro. Let's give it some delay now. goes. Whoa. That's a bit weird. Yeah, let's have that attacked by controlled by envelope 2. I love that delay effect. It's so like sick sounding, as in like unhealthy sort of sick. It's cool. Let's look at the notes. So E, F, that'd almost be like a B4 or something. kind of want that synth line to fade in. I don't want it to hit right at the start. So let's try filtering the entire thing for the delay, of course. Copy that over there. Duplicate that. And the drums, we don't want them right at the start because we want it to kind of die down. Listen from the start, see how it sounds. So I need some sort of drop like here. It sounds like a like a very abrupt sort of change. So turn off the chord sort of things there. So I've just got the weird arpeggios, and then that's cool. I like that. So that's what I want to have happen there. Love that sound. It sounds like a drill. To think about filling this space here. That's kind of the goal at this point. I think that's doable. So now I'm just going to try and find some sort of sound that I can slowly morph with. I really like the noise 1 and 2 in Wavetable. Like, they're really cool sounds, but the only problem is they're like way more sensitive than you'd actually expect. So like a sweep from 5 to 10% is huge. And just by like dropping on a single oscillator, you get a cool vibe. Then we can think about adding a second oscillator. Let's go with the Menace again. I'll go from 45 to 50 something. Up. 45 to try 60. Let's have a listen to that. Cool. Map that to macro 2. So to get that, just go to find the note that we're hanging around. So D0, drag that out. Automation arm done, cool. So automation overdub, yeah. Now we can look at that. So this first part, we want to start up high. Maybe have it sweep up. Cool. Now we can modulate the wavetable position pretty easily. I'm just using the push 2 modulating via the knobs. It's very easy to do. Cool, next one. Let's get the resonance going so we can record that in. I'm just trying to get as many layers of complication as possible. I want to try that again. Because I put too much resonance on it. Drag the node out there. So we're getting a fair bit of movement just from those ones. Let's drop on. So go to filter 2, filter 1, filter 2, great. Start here, and we can change it as we go. The whole point is to get variety, basically. Kind of chasing it with the second filter. Cool. So let's listen with a 24 dB slope. Yeah, I think 24 dB works better. Again, we're simplifying the envelopes. And you should always simplify envelopes, it just makes everything a lot neater. Bring the roof down a little bit. Now it's about the point where I should put some delays of some kind on. I've kind of gotten a long way without putting any delays on. So this glitch delay that I like, and a dub delay on delay 2. So now we can go into the mixer. And we've given it some extra space. And maybe I can also think about putting some reverb on. The hybrid reverb is a very cool effect. Especially some of the strange textures. I like the harmonic one, it's very nice. Well, yeah, I'm going to save it there because I believe dinner's going to be available soon. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this has been helpful